Pokemon friends, we've got a couple of different topics today. Hope everyone had an amazing weekend. We've got PSA fake slabs that are out there. This is not anything new. People have been trying to fake these slabs, but they're starting to get a little bit better. And so we're going to talk about that. A video popped up from Twice Baked Jake, I believe it was. I'll put a link down below in the video description so you can check it out for yourself because I thought the analysis was good. It was on point. And then also Pokemon investing hits a wall, question mark? Let's first start with that. Let's first start with Pokemon investing hits a wall. So I got into the Pokemon side of collectibles in December. So I am a newbie. I've been in for 2.5 months or so. I probably spent about $5,000 in the space of a combination of different things, whether it's vintage Pokemon singles, some old vintage packs, and then I've also got some of the newer stuff as well that I've bought. I've been doing the kind of what people do, buy the sealed product, and I'm just going to hold on it. The plan is to hold it for 20 years. I'm 43. That'll put me at 63. And let's see where we're at then. I don't have a need to liquidate it. I'm just going to sit on it, slowly add to it over time. But I'm not going to be Rudy from Alpha Investments with tens of millions of dollars. At least I don't think so. We'll see what happens, I suppose. But for example, like over the last couple of weeks, I've been trying to figure out on the vintage side, what are the more rare sets? And I got a couple of great comments from people. Skyridge. So going back to 2003, Skyridge, Hollow, Poliwrath, and this is just an example. I'm looking for higher grade, so a PSA 9. And I'll add cards like this, and that's an example of a type of card that I'll just kind of pick up here at Dink and Dunk. I'm going to dink and dunk in the Pokemon space, pick my spots. Man, the one thing that's really tough right now, too, with Pokemon is it feels like the new releases in 2025 are just red hot. You know, of course, we've got Prismatic Evolutions, which I've got a buddy of mine that's got some, and he's going to sell them to me for $100 shipped for an ETB. For the regular ETB, obviously, not the PC exclusive. And for what I've seen, the prices have kind of chilled. They've kind of cooled a little bit on Prismatic Evolutions. I've been looking at the singles of those cards, though, man, and the SIRs are just fantastic looking. So Prismatic Evolutions is going to be a focus. I'm going to continue to add to the position over time. And again, I'm just going to kind of dink and dunk through this thing. But from what I've heard, there's just a lot of sets that people are looking forward to coming up in 2025. So my struggle is just using the capital that I've got. And again, I'm not a zillionaire, so I'm just kind of taking the money that I've got. Do I go in and buy some of this new product as it's coming out? Because it's going to be hot coming out. You know, or do I just continue to go back and kind of mix it up a little bit? Maybe I'm buying 151 because people aren't paying as much attention to 151 because they're so focused on a lot of the new things. I think that's going to be something that's really interesting as well. Is there enough money kind of moving into the space to be able to buy, whether it be the new stuff, the vintage stuff? You know, the money is swishing around, and to be able to keep prices elevating, going up on all of it, you're going to need probably quite a bit of new money coming in as well, or just more people that have already been in the space that are doubling, tripling down, spending more money to kind of keep the thing flowing. I do think that there are new card collectors all the time. It's obvious, it's clearly obvious that of all trading cards, including sports cards, which I love as well, Pokemon cards dominate that next generation, the youth. When you're looking at families, the average middle class family that's looking to buy cards, it's definitely Pokemon cards over sports cards for a variety of different reasons. And so what we've seen, of course, now with booster boxes, seeing a big jump over the last couple of months, a lot of flattening out for the most part. Again, I do kind of wonder, again, we've all got limited resources. Are people excited about Prismatic? And so instead of buying more Fusion Strike, or instead of buying more Chilling Reign, or instead of buying whatever else, they're like, man, I want to focus on Prismatic Evolutions, whether it to be to open that product, to get SIRs out of it, whatever, or to stash it, or maybe some of both. And then, of course, you've got, Journey Together coming out. And then there's more sets in 2025. Are people also saving money for the new sets? Exciting times because there's a ton of different options, and I feel like a lot of different directions to go in for this. So I'm curious to see, where are you guys at with it? Are you focused on the new releases and kind of trying to build a position there? Are you buying Sword and Shield stuff? Are you buying, Sun and Moon, XY? Are you buying singles? Are you buying boosters? Let me know in the comments. Now, unfortunately, we have to shift over to some bad news on the singles side, and something where I've been looking at a lot of single cards and a lot of some of the newer, more modern stuff, and it freaked me out a little bit when I saw this video. Again, we mentioned it earlier, the Twice Baked Jake, try to say that 10 times fast, video where he is showing the big card from Evolving Skies, the Umbreon, and a PSA 10, I believe, is the one that he flashes up on the screen. And there's bids sitting there at about $2,400, like you would see for that card. That's about the price point $2,000 to $3,000 is kind of where it's landing right now for a PSA 10 of that card. But it's a fake card in a fake slab. So it's not even a real card in a fake slab, which I guess if you bought like, a fake slab, at least you'd have a real card in a fake slab. It looks to be, based on his analysis, they're fake cards in fake slabs, which is a double whammy. And to make it even worse is when you plug in the certification number, it takes you to the PSA website and shows you the real version of that card. So of course, what the scammers are doing is they're making copies of those certs, those labels, the real ones, the real numbers, and they're putting it into a fake slab that PSA did not create, and then they've got a fake card. And he said that the cards have texture. They actually kind of look like the real deal, but there are differences. The one giveaway on the slab that I could see, and hopefully they don't get better at it, is the PSA marker right there in the middle, that logo piece, that kind of little holographic piece right in the middle of the slab there is off. That does not look, that's not right, and so that would be the giveaway. But again, if you're just kind of going through, you're on eBay, you're not paying close enough attention, or you're at a card show, you're flipping through slabs. That's a big card right now in the modern space, so it's getting a lot more attention. Maybe people take a little closer look at it. But look, the thing's got like 30 bids right now for $2,400 on eBay. So people are missing it, unless it is the people that created the card that are trying to shill it up. I don't really know exactly, but I have to assume, again, you have a lot of new people coming into this space, and they're trying to get that kind of that big card that they want to add into their collection. And you hope that it's not a family that's spending up to try to get into that card because their kid really badly wants it, or if it's an adult that's trying to add that for some sort of a long-term hold and is just completely snowed and doesn't know the difference. But PSA is always very good about handling these situations, the technology around their slabs. I know for a fact that they deal with law enforcement on these sorts of things to help try to solve these fakes that are coming out. And the hope is that the fakes don't continue to get better. But the biggest part is just awareness to the community, awareness that this stuff is out there, because a lot of people, including myself, we're looking for these things. We're looking for these cards to add to our collection. We want to hold them over a long period of time. And that's kind of the worst thing is you win this card and you stash it away and you forget about it because you're like, hey, I'm putting this in the safe, for a while. And then 10 years down the road, you look at it and you're like, oh, wow. 10 years later, you figure out that you bought, a fake card, fake slab or whatever. Then do you have any recourse at that point? It's scary stuff. So guys, head on a swivel, be aware of the singles market. Just like with sealed product, there's people that tamper with sealed product. You might have G.I. Joe cards in your booster box. The singles market can also be treacherous, so be careful out there, friends. But it's still a Pokemon card bonanza out there. Interest at all-time highs. So even though there has been a flattening with a lot of these booster boxes that have seen big gains over the last couple of months, probably a healthy thing. What it is, obviously, is there's just a lot of supply coming to the market. When you have a Fusion Strike box that, doubles over a year or whatever, and it's now, what is it, $450, $500 a box, people are going to go, you know what? I bought that for $100. I'm going to take 4x my money. It's just going to happen. So some would say, oh, those are paper hands and whatever. That's fine. Look, there's probably a lot of people that have 100 boxes of Fusion Strike, and they're like, you know what? I'm going to sell 20, take that money, reinvest it back in, take some profit, and I'm going to keep the other 80 boxes. That's probably what a lot of people are doing. Or maybe people have 10, they're selling off 2. Maybe some people are selling all of it and moving into something else. Could very well be the case. But either way, I think it's healthy market dynamics when you've got prices rise, supply moves in, that supply gets eaten up, and then over time, Pokemon just seems to do its thing. All right, friends, that's all I've got today. Stay healthy, stay awesome. I'll talk to you again later.